Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. The MW2 launch is on the horizon. We're about 4 months, just over 4 months away from that happening at the end of October. And in the coming 4 months, I mean, we're going to see a lot of stuff revealed. We've got the multiplayer reveal coming up. We got the reveal for whatever the DMZ mode is going to be, Warzone 2 as well. And as we inch closer to that reveal time, we are going to continue to see more and more leaks and rumors surface, including things regarding launch content, which is exactly what we got here today. A ton of potential launch content for MW2MP. As we go through it all, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Really does help grow the channel. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with everything going on in COD. So feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. So the info that we've got here today stems from Reality over on Twitter. And we've talked a lot about Reality's leaks and rumors and data mined info in the past. So definitely not a stranger to the channel here, a familiar name if you're oftentimes tuning into the leaks and rumors videos. But what's extra peculiar about all these leaks recently is that a lot of it is stemming from Project Aurora, aka Warzone Mobile. For whatever reason, there's a lot of stuff packed into the Warzone Mobile files that has to do with Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, including the info we got here today regarding a ton of launch content, potential launch content based around the maps. Now, in some recent years with Vanguard and with MW 2019, we had a lot of content offerings when it comes to playable maps at launch, some of the most in COD history, and far more than what you'd have, you know, years ago back during the quote-unquote golden days of COD with MW2 and BO2 and that sort of era where most games would launch with between 10 and like 15 maps. MW 2019 launched with about 20. Vanguard launched with around the same number if you include all like the Champion Hill or Gunfight and then standard maps as well. We have a very lengthy list of maps here today, almost 30 different maps. However, we may see less of them at launch because some of them are a little peculiar when it comes to their names. Obviously, we're going to be talking about that momentarily. We may see more because this could very well be an early list of leaked maps. You know, it's hard to tell with this stuff. As always, though, because this is just data mined info, leaks and rumors and whatnot, be sure to take it with a grain of salt. There's plenty of options here that could be scrapped. They could be changed, updated, whatever you want to call it. Nothing here is officially set in stone. But let's run through this full list of maps for multiplayer in MW2 that we've got here, because there are some very, very interesting ones. So we'll run through the full list and then we'll sort of, I guess, double back, if you will, and break down some individual ones and really go over the nitty gritty details, if you will. But the following is what we have currently leaked for MWMP. We've got Action Park, we've got Agent Perf, Ancient, Backstab, Catedral, which I think should be Cathedral, Climb, Cruise, Davos or Davos, Dogtown, Esports Gym, Exhume, Fallout, Favela, Firing Range, Floating Bay, Grand Prix, Kill House, Lighthouse, Luxury, Mountain Town, Narcos, Oil Field, Ridge, Royce Test 04, Runner, Saba, Salvage, Tokyo, Trade, and then finally Yellow Castle. So definitely not a short list by any means, right? For what it's worth, if this were the launch content list directly, every single one of those things, every single one of those maps was dropping at launch, it would be the largest launch content offering we've ever seen in COD. That's not going to be the case though. There's a few things here that are worth pointing out initially before we break down what some of these individual places could be. For one, we've got MP_firing range. You might hear that and think, oh, maybe they're going to bring back firing range from, you know, Black Ops, because we've had that before. Probably not. That is more than likely referring to the literal firing range that we know is going to be available in the menu to test out certain builds and recoil and all sorts of stuff like that. We're finally going to see the return of a firing range in MW2, and I'd imagine that that has to do more with that than an actual individual multiplayer map. Several of these could also end up being leftover files as well. For instance, MP_Fallout, that was actually a map name back during MW 2019. If you were around the channel back then, you may recall us talking about leaks for a map called Fallout that never made it into the game. Now, that could very well be a leftover file. That oftentimes happens a ton in Call of Duty, where especially in the same franchise like MW would be here with MW2, you'll have old maps from the previous game that were scrapped wind up in the files for whatever reason. It could very well be that. It could very well be the case of them having that map planned for MW 2019, they didn't get it done in time, or it wasn't worth releasing at the time, so they just reserved it and put it in the back burner until now, and they'll drop it with MW2. That's very possible as well. Kill House, that's obviously a familiar name. We saw that back in some previous Call of Duty titles as well, so that could be a return map. Again, it could be a placeholder. We also have several locations here, several maps here that we either have confirmed for Warzone 2, or actually confirmed, I guess I can't say confirmed for Warzone 2 because we haven't seen the official map, but also leaked for Warzone 2. But we also have some maps that are named here that are confirmed to be multiplayer maps in MW2, and they can be confirmed because we were able to actually hear about them in the early look and early briefing that I was able to take part in for MW2 with Infinity Ward and several other creators not too long ago. The Grand Prix map, we actually talked about that in the initial MW2 reveal video I did on my channel a few weeks back. If you recall that, that's going to be a 6v6 map in the game. Also, Favela, we've heard various leaks about that being included in the Warzone 2 map, and Mountain Town is apparently the code word or code name for High Rise as well on the Warzone 2 map. And we obviously know High Rise is confirmed to be in the game via the whole trailer that we got again a few weeks back. So there's a few things that we can actually connect the dots with here that bring some credibility to this list. For it being a leak and obviously not being officially confirmed, there are things here that do add up with several other things that we've either heard via various other leaks, or the actual game confirming things, or the studio confirming things themselves. But when you sit down and look at this list and say, okay, things like Royce_test04, probably not going to be an official map because that could just be a a sandbox area where they're testing certain things, maybe different barriers or stuff like that. We have things, like I said, like firing range that probably are not going to be there officially. Maybe some extra filler files in here as well. Even when you will go ahead and eliminate some of those, this is a very lengthy list of potential launch content. Keep in mind, some of this could also, in theory, be for in-season content, maybe season 1, which will probably happen in like December or January, even season 2. But in general, to have this many different maps listed already, to me, would be good news if obviously this ends up coming to fruition and this list ends up being as accurate as we can assume it probably will be based off of the confirmations that we have. To me, that's sort of a testament to this game being the first fully developed 3-year cycle game that we've had since MW 2019. Based off of this, I would say we could probably expect a ton of content at launch, which is a great thing. Obviously, we want the game to be polished, but we also want the game to have plenty of content so that it doesn't become very stale very fast. And based off of this list, it looks like we're going to have quite a bit to explore. That said, do any of these names stand out to you guys that we went over? Esports Gym kind of sounds like it could be an interesting one. Obviously, some of these could also be code names too for some of the other maps that we have confirmed. We know Farm 18 is going to be like a DOS house or shoot house style map that's a little bit more close quarters. It's based in a testing facility. We also have a map called Museum that's confirmed as well. So any of these could be code names for one of those, so keep that in mind as well. Also, we could have different Champion Hill or Gunfight maps being listed here. We could see some Ground War map code names being listed here. There's a lot of possibilities, but I do think this is some good news at the end of the day. But that's going to wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video or if you're excited for MW2, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with everything going on in COD, so feel free to hit that sub button. That way you can always guarantee you are up to date. And as always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products. The links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.